So just to kick off the closing session, it's going to be probably 20 minutes or so, but do remind you that after the closing session, please come join us for the networking session on AirMeet. We can have some informal chat and say goodbyes. Please do come there at the end of this closing session. So the first part of the closing session, as you are aware, we have hosted a prize competition. We have done that for several years now, and the purpose here is to recognize organizations that have delivered documented success in improving healthcare supply chain practice. And this year we shortlisted 4 teams to present, and these were featured in two tracks on day 1 in the morning as well as day 2. The prize talk 1 was COVID Action Fund for Africa. The next talk that was delivered was on day 1 was optimizing supply chain management for efficiency using commodity order management systems. This was a work by GHSCS-2020 in Nigeria. So these were the 2 talks on day 1. On day 2, we had 2 very interesting talks. One was adaptation of private sector call center model for availability and visibility using a private sector call center kind of model in South Sudan. That was presented yesterday in track 5. And then in the same track, we had another initiative about adapting routine supply chain supportive supervision. This was from Eswatini, their initiative to improve healthcare worker capacity and supply chain management performance in the era of COVID-19. So these were the talks that we had. What we did was we had judges who evaluated these presentations. And here are the 5 judges who were there, and I really appreciate, thank you so much, all the judges. Stephen Harsono, Head of Public Health from IQVIA, Asia Pacific. Pascal Leroy, she's the Vice President of Healthcare Sector from William Davidson Institute. Azuka Okeke, CEO of Africa Resource Center. Kelly Hamblin, Program Officer at the Gates Foundation, and Professor Sriram Dasu from University of Southern California. So before we get to actually announcing, I would like the judges to come and perhaps share a few thoughts based on the presentations of any remarks that they want to share with the general audience as well as the teams that participated in this competition. So I'll stop sharing and maybe give the floor to the judges a little bit and see if anybody is around who is willing to share. I can see Sriram and Pascal. Anybody else who's around? So maybe Pascal, you can go and share some comments first.
Yeah, first I'd like to say it was such a pleasure to have the opportunity to listen to all 4 presentations. The creativity and drive and desire to solve pressing needs was evident in all 4 of the presentations, and I was just really happy to have the opportunity to hear about all the interesting and great work that the teams have been doing.
Yeah, Sriram, anything that you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, I want to echo what Pascal just said. I think it was a tremendous learning opportunity to learn about the work that these teams were doing, and again, they're addressing very important problems and showing tremendous creativity and really making a difference. And so in that sense, I thought it was really very it was time well spent for me, in other words. Thank you so much for your work.
Yeah. Stephen?
Yep, just congratulations to everyone. Also wanted to say that, I think just being a listener and having a lot of tough questions fired at you from everyone is not easy. It's great to just sort of see the success of different projects and the creativity that goes into making these solutions work. So thanks to everyone.
Great. Thank you. Do we have Azuka or Kelly here? I don't see them. So what I want to highlight is this is the judges. So what we did was the judges had a scoring form, and they scored all the 4 talks around multiple dimensions. And then we huddled together with the judges yesterday after the last talk was over. and compared notes and used the numerical ranking as well as qualitative thoughts on the various presentations to come up with identifying the winner. It was actually a pretty close call between two of the presentations. But here are some remarks that I will present some qualitative remarks that judges had for the winning entry. So the presentation was very well put together. Structure of the presentation was very clear. Execution of the presentation was well done through their video with multiple perspectives, and they responded to questions very well. Succeeded in strategically connecting the technical supply chain challenges and more fundamental issues around equity and justice, and this got very emphasized in many of the judges' comments. A rare quality among presentations at the GHSC Summit. And just by the way, many of the folks here actually have attended multiple summits, so I think that's, so they speak from experience. The scale and scope of this work was impressive, is impressive, and offers lots of potential to scale further. Impressive ability of team to urgently address one of the most pressing issues of the day in such an agile way, given large amount of stakeholders and countries involved. So I think it's already giving away who the winner might be. This initiative identified a need, both from a supply chain and equity standpoint, formed a solution to meet that need, and provided for the community some important lessons about aggregating the market. So these were some of the comments that judges highlighted for the winning presentation. So, you guys ready? And the winner is, yeah, okay. So the COVID Action Fund for Africa was the project that won the competition this year. Madeline Ballard, Emily Bancroft, Tapiwa Mokwashi, Andrew McCullough, Gabriel Fitzgerald, and Mila Neponyashi, if I pronounced this name correctly, I'm sorry. Congratulations once again for your winning presentation. If any one of you are there from the team, we would like to maybe have you come on the screen. Anybody there? Please let us know, and I'll stop sharing so that you can say a few words.
Hi, this is Mila from the team. Thank you so much. This is a real honor. Really very humbled and privileged to be acknowledged here in this forum. So thank you. I think the real work is up ahead for us to make sure that this truly sustains in the way that we envision. And it's just tremendous to see the commitment and the attention and the elevation. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations to the
congratulations.
Nominees as well. I think this is really hard work, so it's great that they've also been acknowledged in this forum. Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, so I would like to invite our organizing committee members, some of them who are already in the panel, as well as maybe not yet, to share some thoughts on the event, the last 2 days and today. Because I really appreciate all the work that you guys have put in as organizing committee members to put this together, and have you share some of the thoughts. And then participants, if you have any thoughts or comments you would like to share, please type in your name and we will have you actually on the screen. It's not just a verbal thing. You could switch on your video and come on the screen and share some of the thoughts. I'll stop sharing, maybe have some of the committee members share some thoughts, and then hear from some of the participants who are still there if you want to say a few things about the conference. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing. Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Noel.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Excellent. So just a quick thought. Despite everything that's happening in the world, this is a great time for those who care about supply chains. I think before COVID, we knew about supply chains, but I think the world in general may be able to put the terms together and figure it out. But as a result of COVID, supply chain has been elevated to a new level. What it means, we tried to put this in some words for a press release about this conference, is that for all the stakeholders, whether local, regional, or global, they all now have a common and vivid reference point for the importance of supply chains. And I think practically what this is going to mean is that there are supply chain discussions and transitions that pre-pandemic would have been expected to take years, if not decades, and are now arguably on an accelerated timeline. And so we need to harness this momentum. We know what's good for supply chains. We know how to make these things work, and so we need to push to be more in these conversations and to direct the supply chain development in the directions that we know are going to have benefits for global health immediately and in the years to come. Let me leave it at that.
I would also like to say a few words. One will be related to what Noel said, that I agree with every word, and one also my experience in being in all these meetings in the last 13 years. And I think that this year, the conference taught me something that I didn't believe it will happen. I think that the meeting went well. And as Noel is saying, we want to spread the word. And I think that in the future, we will go back clearly to the live meetings, but we can use a mixture of the live meetings and the Zoom meetings, in the sense that not everybody can come to the live meetings. At the end of the day, they are quite expensive. So we want to continue and have the same kind of meetings, and in the same time to attract many more people that perhaps are not working, perhaps they are students. And I can tell you that in the last years, I got a lot of email. Hey, Professor Basok, you know, 7 years ago, as a student, you supported me to come to the conference, and now I'm doing this, and I'm working with this company, I'm working with the government and doing. I think we need to find a way to combine the two modes of meeting together so that we have the live meetings. They are very important, they are very desirable, and on the same time to attract and to spread the words even farther to many more people.
Okay, thank you. Tijan?
Yeah, thank you, Ravi, and thank you, everyone, for this. I think this meeting just highlights the need for to strengthen different organizations working on supply chain. This is a unique opportunity really to have supply chain managers, public health, academics, and other specialists meet and discuss. I think we had a great keynote speakers in the last 3 days. Each of them brought, interesting perspective around supply chain and development in general. In the panels, we also hear a lot of good things around the panels and the discussions and questions that was brought on the tables. And I just want to congratulate again the winners of the prize, and encourage those who have not won, but who have done a lot of work on putting together these initiatives. So thank you very much, everyone. And I really want to congratulate again the committee for the long meetings that we have done over the last I would say, 6-7 months to prepare for this conference, but I think it was worth putting those efforts.
And there will be some more of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Sijan. Stephen, you wanted to say a few words?
Yes. Yeah. Thank you to everyone that's been a part of planning and also participating and making these conversations really lively. I think the last year has underscored not just the importance of the topic of global health supply chain, but also the importance for us who've been doing this for a long time to really make sure that we get this right. The urgency of addressing these issues, but also the quality with which we want to do them, and being able to take a step back and look at the different kinds of things that we've done in supply chain over the last just over the last year, and being able to challenge each other to continue to do better, I think has been a really good opportunity over the last few days. I think themes that we've been talking about for the last several years in this conference, also I think are accelerating. We're talking, more about the adoption of different technologies, better discussions around public and private sector, and collaboration between them. And I think new things that we're seeing, like we saw with the COVID Action Fund, about, that we're really talking about equity in supply chains and how we reach the last mile with increased, increased focus on justice. These are things that we can continue to accelerate as we go through this, and I think hope that we can keep inspiring each other to improve. Thanks.
Great. Sriram?
Yeah, I mean, I want to echo some of the comments that others have made. I think COVID is a kind of a mixed blessing in the sense that it's clearly very harmful beyond doubt, but it has also surfaced, some of the challenges that are there in supply chain. And it's not just in terms of health supply chains, there are issues around food and other supply chains. And I think globally, there is a greater awareness of strengthening supply chains. So I'm hopeful that this increased awareness, as Noel pointed out, might actually be beneficial for us in terms of, getting more resources, more attention from entities that were not otherwise engaged in supporting health supply chains in general. So I see that as something that might come out as a very positive outcome from COVID. And the other thing that I want to kind of highlight is that, I've also been not as quite engaged as Yehuda and Ravi and the others, but been involved in this conference over the years. And it's very heartening to see the development that Stephen was talking about. When we started off 13 years ago to where we are now, it's a long, far cry. The level of sophistication and the potential that technology now offers is also very promising. So I think those are very good outcomes that we are observing at this point. And at the same time, I also want to thank my colleagues on the panel who have done much more than I have, and especially Yehuda and Ravi. Just the amount of effort that goes into this conference is extraordinary, and the quality of the presentations is just amazing. So thank you all for those who participated and for my colleagues on the organizing committee.
Great, thanks a lot. Anybody else wants to share anything? Going once, going twice. Okay, so I'll just have a few things just to cover, and then we will close this. This conference will not be possible without the support team that is behind this stuff. In the lead project support, we have Anton, who's a doctoral student at the School of Public Health here. He's actually helped with this conference for the last 4 years and just worked enormously behind the scenes. And all the logistics support was provided by Sue. I'm sure you've seen multiple emails from her. Really worked super hard. The website, a lot of last minute things we had to do. And he's, for multiple years, Christopher Frazier has provided support. And really super thanks to Sherry. She's been just the holding up the internet backbone and the Zoom and everything for us. If everything has worked, as it has very, very smoothly, this wouldn't have been possible without Sherry's help. And very, very late nights trying to work, make sure that everything works. And we had, student assistants behind this. You've seen some of them in the panel session, in the panel tracks where they moderated them. We want to call out thanks to Mohit, Emily, Jacob, Damini, as well as Ruth. Ruth joined us a little bit late because she had to figure out her class schedule conflicts, but she's been attending various sessions, taking notes, etc. And last but not the least, live interpretation provided by Babel Linguistics. Really want to thank the interpreters for doing a fantastic job and putting them on the spot in the sense that we worked really hard to get them transcripts of speakers ahead of time, but which was often not possible. So sorry for that, but appreciate all the hard work that you have put in. Thank you so much. Also want to thank our generous sponsors, Chemonics, my own department, William Davidson Institute, as well as USC Marshall Center for Global Supply Chain. Chemonics has historically supported many of the events, so really appreciate that. Just want to, I think on the opening day, we talked about post-conference activities, as Yehuda said, to continue some of this stuff, and we will do periodic webinars and panel discussions on topics of interest. If you have ideas, please let us know. We would continue training sessions going forward, as well as launch of a small grant research program, and we'll follow up with details. Coming up next, please watch your email as well as calendar on December 16th. We will host a joint webinar with Chemonics, which will pick up on some of the stuff we already started discussing in this conference about, impact of pandemic on global supply chains, health supply chains, as well as, what the future looks like. So that's going to be the focus of the session on December 16th. We'll follow up with more details. Videos and presentations, and there were a lot of queries, will be posted on the website shortly, hopefully by next week. And we would follow up with a survey. Please watch your email for a survey link that will come to you and respond to the survey. And finally, thank you so much for your participation. And thank you so much for your participation. And stay safe, happy holidays, and hope to see you whenever we have our sessions next, right? So with that, I officially call this conference a close. There was supposed to be some sound, I don't know. So thank you so much.